So let's just have real talk. Like, just real talk about relationships.
Haha. The most complicated subject in the world. For some reason. Why are people so complicated? Why?
Justin's going through something.
I say the word and
Justin's
so much
going through
comes out.
something.
Relationships. Relationships, they start early on. They start with your parents first. Those can be smooth and complicated. They're family relationships, smooth and complicated. You know, each one of us have had times in our family where we love somebody and times where we didn't want to see that person, that same person, right? And then romantic relationships. They look differently, different ages, different times. But just relationships, I want to talk about them as a whole. What do you feel is the top 3 reasons why relationships seem to be so tumultuous and just what you said, just so complicated at times? What do you think that is? Particularly looking at yours. Like, let's not analyze the world out there. Let's go in my relationships. It's been, so I'll start off with me. For me, one of the main reasons why mine have had peaks and valleys is because I often didn't say what I was feeling. I was trying to, well, let me just say I was a coward to confrontation. And I wouldn't say what I was feeling, which made it challenging for me. And then the other thing is I would hold things in until I just wanted out. I held it in so long, by the time I was just done. I'd rather shut it all down than work on the work. What about you?
Honestly, I would say those 2 things. I think I fall into those 2 traps a lot. I think that, like, not saying like what I want to say and just like holding it in, I think that stems from like just wanting to keep the peace, but then that only lasts so long, you know.
It's not even peace. It's
not
a
even
false
It
peace.
is
It's a false peace.
Yeah.
Because they don't know what they did. They don't know what's going on. They don't know the breakdown, and you're not at peace.
You know, I think like the biggest thing for me, I think that why relationships get so like chaotic is I think that 2 people that like really want the best for each other, but also want their own desires, creates like a dichotomy. It's like oil and vinegar. It just doesn't. Those 2 things, like, I want what I want, but I also want you to have what you really want.
Right.
But those 2 things are directly in conflict.
If they're not the exact same.
Right. If they're not the exact same, if we can't find the, you know, it's like,
You're right.
I want a marshmallow, you want an apple. Like, we can only get one.
No such thing as a schmapple.
Right. And we can't do both. And so one of us has to, you know,
Right.
it has to be in that. I think that's where that part gets messed up. And I think that's where like the friction happens, because like as much as I care for you and as much as you care for me, like I still want what I want.
So lose themselves in a relationship. They surrender. They surrender who they are for the peace of the relationship, only to come back 5 years later or 10 years later or 20 years for some people, and they're bitter.
Right.
Because they lost themselves.
Yeah. Choosing either one, I don't think is the
Yeah.
Well, for me, I think this is crazy, but money is a real big issue for a relationship.
Money.
Money.
No, you're right. It does sound crazy.
Me as a person, when I love someone, I love them hard, and I want to give them all of me and all that I can, like all that I have. So I always want to, I will go broke on some, like the person I love, because I just want to see them happy and I just want to see them smile.
Your judgment becomes compromised.
Yes.
Piggybacking on that, I think like what happens after you want to spend all your money on person is you like the whole money conversation turns into we're sharing money now, and like, you know, that's just a whole separate thing. I bring that up only because I'm recently getting into that conversation of sharing money.
Right.
And we like after sharing money for like a little bit, we realize like as much as we love each other, we each have to have our own separate, like very separate money things. As much as you like want, when you're sharing money, is like when you want to buy a gift for them, it's not only your money you're spending, like you're spending You know,
Ah.
like if you want $100 gift for the person you're in love with, that's 50 of their dollars.
If
going
you,
to their-
if you're
if
sharing
you're
dollars.
sharing money,
Because you
sharing
recently got
money.
married.
Right.
And so,
yeah. And
so recently, as a new husband,
right,
congratulations again.
Like we had to make a couple like changes in terms of like, because like just said, money is like it was causing arguments, and it was just like, it caused unnecessary stress. You know, money is just stress.
And money is a masculine energy, so money has the energy of it's, you know, money has a dominating energy that just kind of clobbers everything else.
Right.
And so,
Because it dictates both lifestyles.
so what are two recent lessons that you learned that you know will help you navigate through relationship, whether it be parental relationship, whether it be family relationship or love relationship? What's a lesson you picked up? And even if you're not necessarily living it out yet, I didn't say mastering it, you just picked it up. So here's a lesson that I learned. I learned that, and this is crazy, I learned that for relationships, for me, that there's the alpha personality, which is the really strong personality, which is my dad's personality. And I respond one way to the alpha personality. And then I realize that there's the masculine personality, which is not the alpha personality, it's you and your uncle, my brother. I always put those all together. And now I'm realizing, hold on, the masculine personality, they respond differently. They're not, the aggressiveness in a dance with them doesn't feel good. Do you know what I mean? I didn't know that. I'm just getting that. You know, just as I'm in a relationship myself, and I realize that, the alpha male, because I grew up with my dad's energy, and the masculine, because you have alpha, masculine, metrosexual, like in terms of men. And I didn't realize that the masculine energy actually doesn't dance well with the alpha woman energy. Does that make sense? That's a big awareness for me. To go, I need to look at a man's personality for my son, for my family, for my brother. You know, my brother would always say, why are you always so high energy? And my dad liked it. My dad bounces off of it. Well, they're two different personalities. That was big for me. Big for me. What's a aha for you guys? Justin?
An aha for me is just to communicate more. Once you
Say that again, the aha
communicate
for
more,
me?
The aha for me was just to communicate more. Just easy communications on simple thoughts. You may think it's irrelevant or miscellaneous, but that miscellaneous thought can be the difference between you connecting on another level because they feel the same, or you disconnecting because now they feel that there's no mutual ground or nothing alike. That can be a breaking moment. Just a miscellaneous thought, just like, I don't know, don't you crazy that can bring people together and like, oh yeah.
So just communicate more,
Like,
talk.
just communicate. Or when you feel mad, like, oh, what you just said just made me mad. Like, she will not know unless you say something. And
that's back to your point of not withholding.
so just communicate on whatever it is, like little things.
Communicate.
And it's hard, but it's a thing that needs to be practiced a lot more.
And let me tell you, that sounds like it should be easy because I'm in the communication business. But it's different when you're in a relationship. Your heart's at stake. Do you know I got these cards I gave you for your wedding? I gave you and Maya a set of cards that are
Yeah, we use
conversation
those.
starters. Before I gave you those cards, I took a picture of like 30 of them because I was giving them to you, but I needed them myself. And I laughed because people would think that I wouldn't need a conversation starter. But when you're nervous or when your heart's at stake, get all the help you need.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like what Justin was saying. Like, I think communicating is super, super key. Like, with those conversation cards, I think just like 2 nights ago, we pulled one out and it was like, what did you want to be when you grew up? I learned a whole bunch of stuff about like my wife that I didn't know. You
Right.
know?
You can talk.
I never asked that question.
You can talk for an hour on one card.
Yeah.
So this is not to promote any particular brand, but like I think that we should, I know for me, just I'm not going to try to help. This is about me helping me too. For me, I just got things that would help spark conversations. One of my favorite books on the planet. It has been my favorite book for over 13 years. I've bought maybe 40 copies. I just gave my last copy away to a girlfriend of mine who's in a relationship, and her boyfriend was deployed recently. And she was like, how? I said, got to get this book. And it's Intellectual Foreplay. And I've told you about, you've heard me, it's Eve Hogan, the author who co-authored Chicken Soup for the African American Soul with me. And it's just all of these great questions. And what I love about the book is that I would never have the courage to ask this question. But I can blame it on the book. Like, well, let's do the book. I have a girlfriend, Danita, who's given the book already to like 10, 12 people. And she's in a relationship that's unlike any other because they started it with this book. And so I know that I'm in the season where I'm going, give me the help. I don't care. I'm putting my ego down. I don't care that I'm in the communication business. This is my heart. So good. Let's all commit to communicate more. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. 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 My boys.